What's up guys, JB here and welcome back to another video. Now this is going to be a different sort of video. This is about the release notes and for the two patches that have come out in the last week or so for CSGO. And I think there's been some major changes. So if I run through the one on the 10th quickly. They've nerfed the SG or the Krieg slightly, reduced the rate of fire and accuracy to bring the weapons value to be more in line with other rifles. So basically, after a while, some of the pros actually worked out that the Krieg was actually really good and started using it. So if you were CT, it was basically a scramble to get the Krieg that was dropped on the floor. The Org has been buffed in one place but nerfed in another place. So basically when you're standing there hip firing, it's a bit more accurate now. I've been using it myself. It seems really good. But when you're scoped in, the accuracy has been slightly lowered. So yeah, why does that come up? Anyway, the M4 A1 silenced version, its price has been reduced. Eagle was basically buffed majorly in the release before last, in the last update that they had. But it broke it at the same time that when you jumped, people were actually able to 1D you and headshot you, because the jumping accuracy was basically turned up a bit too much. So then the meta was for about a week that people were jumping with the deagle. So that has since been lowered. That's since been fixed, hopefully. So yeah, the Tech 9 got a buff, so its firing and accuracy has been reduced. So that's become pretty much a meta gun again. And the Bison has increased armor penetration. Whether they're trying to force that through as a meta gun, I don't know. I've used it since and it's not been... I don't like it, to be honest. So yeah, goes with low-end PCs. They've added a launch option, no Uber shader. But if you use it on a new one, your FPS will drop dramatically. And you've basically been moved from scrimmage to competitive. Inferno, the wall by a door in A-site balcony is now whatever that it says. It's basically the open door in apartments. You can now shoot through to it towards balcony and graveyard if no one's at balcony. So yeah, office snow is accumulated, so you don't have to jump up on dumpsters. Mirage blocked the vision under truck on B sites. What they've done is they've put a little block there where you could see through that little tiny gap to see whoever's feet was there, and now block that. So yeah, so we'll move on to the one from this past week, 3 days ago. They've added one-on-one warm-up arenas in wingman mode on Vertigo and Train, which I think is brilliant. Please bring it to 5v5 Valve. Even if you just go into a game, you know, you go in at the start and you've probably got a bot on the other side until someone connects from the other team, and then you 1v1, which is brilliant. So then you're not running around the map being spawn killed and whatever, just doing nothing. The Deagles, its inaccuracy jump apex has been heightened. Now this, the UI, this particular one, the ability to see the crosshairs of observed players is, in my opinion, a brilliant addition. So when you set that setting to on, you can see people and what crosshair they have, their individual crosshairs. So I've seen a few. There's a mix out there. I've seen the little dots, and there's some that are that about that big, and I'm thinking, how are they fragging with that? But you know, it's interesting. And then you can copy the crosshairs of other players through the scoreboard, which is a good addition. They've added the ability to listen to music kit MVP anthems when inspecting music kits. I don't know, well, anyone that's into the music side of it, that'll be a good addition. I don't particularly care for that myself. And they've added new music kits. Fixed agents, sometimes not holding the weapons at the end of the match screens. Fixed agents in Perfect World version, sometimes vocalizing English. The Perfect World version is basically the Chinese version. So what was happening in the Chinese version is that some of the agents would shout out English radio commands. So yeah, so I've done some bits to the maps. Anubis, Chlorine, I don't know what jungle is. The biggest addition in this one is the changes to Vertigo. I like them. Okay. Basically, Bomb Site B has been revamped slightly. So, basically, first off, on A site, you had that little wooden fence. It's now been replaced with a metal version, so when you wallbang, the damage is a lot lower. In Bomb Site B, they've reduced the height of the site by 32 units. I assuming that is the skybox above, so you can probably bounce nades off of it now. They tightened the exit from T stairs, so it's creating more of a choke point. Like, for instance, it goes quite wide and into the, a bit like into B on DOS 2. We go through tunnels and it has that little blind little alleyway going in. They've removed the window entrance from mid and replaced it with a raised entrance near CT spawn. So the T's now, if you're holding B, you will not get, there's less of a risk of you watching stairs and then getting popped from the side on that window. So they've removed that entrance from the mid area. They flipped the railings on stairs to site to allow jump up from sandbag position. Reworked site layout and cover, so some of it's been shifted around. They've moved the connector from B halls that went under mid to further towards T spawn. So, while CT have got a raised entrance to get into B, they've given something to the T's as well. So they've moved the connector from the B halls that went under mid to further towards T spawn. Whether they're trying to make this make Vertigo less of a hated map, I personally don't care for it myself, but we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. And they've enabled B site in wingman mode, and then experiment in wingman mode during players will spawn in 1v1 arenas, which is good. Train, not much, just move the pigeons that sometimes spawn near Ivy. That's not much of a change, I think. And in wingman mode again, you get a 1v1 arena. So, in conclusion, I think this is a huge response to the release of Valorant games by Valve. I think most of the changes are very positive. I think some of the guns are being rebalanced. We're probably going to see some more in the future. I think with Valorant now coming out and getting more popular during this beta period, you might see some more of these communications from Valve, some more of these updates coming, and maybe more one-on-one arenas, warm-up arenas, which would be brilliant. So yeah, one thing I'd think that they might put in, because Valorant has borrowed a lot from CSGO, I think they will put in the ability to refund some money if you mistakenly buy a weapon. Now, I'd do this with two conditions. You can only use it 3 times throughout a match, okay? Because the menu has a little bit of delay to it, I find when I'm trying to buy up really fast, sometimes it doesn't register what I'm trying to put in, and sometimes I end up buying an SMG or instead of a rifle. Okay, so you can only use it 3 times during a match, so you still get the element of, oh god, I've mistakenly bought something, maybe, you know, or probably once a half actually. I'm probably thinking about it, once a half, so you still get that little bit of a deficit if you do mistakenly buy something. And you know, when you refund, probably not getting the full amount of cash back, maybe only getting 75%, so that still clips you a little bit if you do mistakenly buy something. But that's just my idea. Anyway, if you enjoyed that, please leave a like on it, hit the subscribe button with the bells for notifications, and there's 30% of you out there watching my videos and not subscribing, so if you want to keep up to date, please subscribe, give it a like, and follow my socials down below. I stream on Mixer 3-4 times a week. My schedule goes up on Twitter and Insta every Sunday, and yeah, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.